So Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and welcome to Shabbat across Winnipeg. This is a very special occasion as we get together every week, once a week, for the magic of inviting Shabbat into our lives. You know, normally we would do it in our homes or come to individual synagogues, but the idea behind Shabbat across Winnipeg is that we do it as a community and invite each other into each other's homes, into each other's sanctuaries, and really get and depth and the extraordinary vitality of our entire Jewish community, not just in Winnipeg, but across Canada and around the world. Oddly enough, I'm here tonight with Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Cleo, and Rabbi Anibal, and these are rabbis that I would never see on a Friday night. We would be doing other things in other places, and as we got together to plan this, we realized the incredible diversity and richness of our Shabbat experience and the backgrounds that we have. Rabbi Yossi grew up in Morocco, lived in Winnipeg, and in Israel. Rabbi Anibal, Argentina, Chile, and Canada. Rabbi Cleo is in Canada and the United States, and me, Winnipeg, but journeying through from synagogue to synagogue and synagogue and denomination to denomination to denomination. All along the way, we picked up the rich musical traditions of Shabbat, and we thought that that's what we would present tonight. So as we go through the service, it's really about engaging not only you, but in each other, teaching you and teaching each other the rich musical experiences and realizing how rich our Jewish community is. So that tonight will be Shabbat across Winnipeg, Bruchim Habayim, and welcome to the experience of bringing Shabbat into our lives. We're going to start, as we always do, with Shalom Aleichem, and for the very first piece, we're going to again be introducing each of the four rabbis, bringing forward melodies that are important to them, to us. I will start the first verse with something that was written in Winnipeg by Cantor Len Udo, and we'll continue on through this service as we go through to welcome Shabbat. I will mention that Rabbi Yossi will be only for the earliest part of the service as he goes off to prepare for his own Shabbat. So let's start again with Shabbat. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Where are you clear? I can see you.
Boachem l'shalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon mi melech malachei amlachim hakadosh baruch hu.
You're muted.
We rabbis aren't techies.
Thank you. Barchuni leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, malachei rachamim, mi melech, malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Seidchem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mimelech malchei amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Rabbi Yossi, will you lead us into a Devar Torah?
Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay, first of all, I want to welcome everybody. It's so wonderful that we can celebrate this together. And I suppose that this is a little bit of a silver lining to COVID. Before COVID, we would never have even contemplated a community-wide Shabbat program like this. And now that we can go virtual, it's wonderful to be with everyone. I want to also thank all the sponsors, Florencia for all her hard work, Jewish Federation, Rady JCC, and of course all the synagogues and the rabbis, Eitz Chaim, Shaare Tzedek, Temple Shalom, and Herzliya. And like Rabbi Finkel mentioned, so much diversity, so many different backgrounds, and yet the ability for everyone to come together. And I think that's a very, very beautiful, beautiful thing. So I just wanted to share with all of you just an insight on Shabbat. How do you encapsulate Shabbat in literally 5 minutes? I think I only have 4 minutes left, but I just wanted to share with you one little idea. There's a very interesting piece in the Talmud. It appears in 2 different places, and the Talmud says the following. It says, Psiya gasa, a person who walks quickly. You're always running, right, in the street. So the Talmud says, Notelet echad michamesh meot mimeor einav shel adam. It takes away 1/500th of the eyesight of a person. Very shocking statement of the rabbis. And then the Talmud goes on and says, what's the remedy? If a person loses 1/500th of their eyesight every time they rush, how do they get it back? So the Talmud says, Mai takante, says they should go back to their Kiddush cup. There's different explanations of what that means. Some say that they should drink the Friday night Kiddush. There are others who say that they should look inside the Kiddush cup. And there's actually a very beautiful Sephardic custom that when the person who's making Kiddush, this is also for Havdalah, when they're making Kiddush, they actually look in the Kiddush cup and they try to find their reflection in the Kiddush cup. It's not a very scientific piece of Talmud, that's for sure. I know a lot of people who actually rush a lot. They run very quickly and they actually have very, very good eyesight. I actually know a lot of people who are actually very slow. They walk very slowly during the week and they have poor eyesight. So what exactly were our rabbis trying to tell us here? Certainly, there's no medical proof that a person who runs quickly is going to actually lose their eyesight. I'd like to share with you all what I think the meaning of this piece of Talmud is. And I think that what the rabbis were talking about is not our physical eyesight. We have 2 different types of eyesight. We have physical eyesight and we have spiritual eyesight. And that's what the rabbis were talking about. They were telling us that during the week, we're always rushing, we're always running, we're always going somewhere. And as a result of that, we miss the show. We're missing something. And what happens is we lose our spiritual eyesight. And so comes Shabbat, and then the rabbis tell us, what's the remedy? Look in the Kiddush cup. Comes Shabbat, and then lo and behold, everybody slows down. That's what Shabbat is all about. It's about slowing down. And then when we slow down, something really amazing happens. And I think that's why we look into the Kiddush cup and we find our reflection. And when we slow down, we're actually able to find ourselves. That's what Shabbat is all about. During the week, we're rushing, we're going, we're always on the move. And as a result of that, we miss out on so much. And then comes Shabbat, the tranquility, the stopping of Shabbat, and we find ourselves. We look in that Kiddush cup, we see our reflection, and we say, wow, that's the person who got lost during the week. And all of a sudden, on Shabbat, they found themselves. And that's why the word Shabbat, by the way, also has the root of the word shav, to return. Because when we experience Shabbat, when we slow ourselves down into the Shabbat, we find ourselves, we return to our families, to our community, we return to God. And it's a beautiful thing. Just think about it. During the week, how long do you take for any given meal, for your dinner, your whole family's together? 15 minutes, 20 minutes? I can only speak for myself. My Shabbat dinner or my Shabbat lunch has lasted 2-3 hours. Who in their right mind would ever think of sitting at a meal for 3 hours? But on Shabbat, we can do that. We can have discussions with our family. We can sing songs. We can have divrei Torah, and we can discover ourselves and return to all those wonderful relationships that maybe we weren't able to really capture during the week. And so I think this is one of the messages that I want to leave you all with on Shabbat, that we should experience Shabbat all the time, every single week, we should experience this beauty of returning to ourselves, to our families, to our communities, and certainly returning to the Almighty. Thank you, everybody, and enjoy the rest of the program.
Rabbi Yossi, you're not done yet. I think you're starting us with Lecha Dodi.
Oh, thank you.
And then we wish you a truly wonderful Shabbat as you go off to see your family and off to your congregation.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I'm sorry that I can't stay for the whole program, but I really do appreciate even being part of this part of the program. I'm going to sing a very beautiful Lecha Dodi. I'm going to call it a Sephardic Lecha Dodi that became very, very famous. It was just written very recently in Israel, and I've always wanted to sing this melody, and I've never actually sung it in synagogue. So I'm very, very excited about singing it to all of you here today. Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekabela Shamor vezachor bedibur echad Hishmianu el hameyuchad Adonai echad Ushmo echad L'shem u'tiferet ve'litila lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela.
Okay, I think it's my turn now for the second verse. It's taken from an Israeli melody composed by Avi Toledano. You can search it. The original song is called Beyachad, and I do it like this. Likrat Shabbat lechu venelcha ki mekor haberacha מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה ומחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת גלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת גלה פני שבת נקבלה.
I'll choose Main Street for the Hitoriri. Hitoriri, Hitoriri, Ki Varech Kumi Ori, Uri Urir Shir Daberi, Kivora Nana Alich Niklam, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kalam, Pene Shabbat Nekabelam, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kalam, Pene Shabbat Nekabela.
I think it's my turn now. And I'm going to start off by just reminding myself of the melody, because I have several in my head. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Yalala 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 Pnei Shabbat Nekabela. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Yalala 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 Pnei Shabbat Nekabela. Boi v'shalom atet ala gam v'simcha u'betola toch emunei am segula boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala yalala 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala yalala 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela.
Khalil, do you want to continue with a meditation?
Yes, This is the first I'm hearing of it, but thank you, Rabbi Allen. No, I'm just kidding. I do want to invite you into a moment of meditation. As Rabbi Yossi said so eloquently, Shabbat is about returning to this sacred space. And how do we do that? It's hard to transition from the regular weekday into this exquisite place known as Shabbat. And one of the ways that the ancient rabbis used to do this, they would do this with Shabbat, but they would do this before they prayed. We're told in Masachet Brachot that they would sit for about an hour before they daven, before they prayed, and meditate. So I invite you into this short meditation. And going quickly isn't always the most effective, but I encourage you to take this meditation, see it for what it is in the moment, and then come back to it at some other point when you have more time. And so what I'm going to ask everyone to do is just to close their eyes and breathe out of your nose, taking 3 deep breaths. And as you do, I want you to see yourself sitting very quietly, feeling a stillness that you have known, and recognize its calming effects. Sense a smile beginning deep within you. Smile with your heart, with your mind. Sense every cell smiling within you. Imagine hearing a chorus of angels and sense your body moving to the melody with their song. Feel yourself beginning to dance. Ask yourself, what do you look like? How do you feel? Hold this image or sensation as you slowly breathe out and slowly open your eyes. Return to a life knowing you have increased your level of joy. And it's important that we highlight our joy. With so much oi or ois in the world, we also have to take time to appreciate the joyous occasions. And we're just coming slowly today out of Rosh Chodesh Adar Bet, the new month, and a reminder that the rabbis teach us that when we enter into the month of Adar, it should be filled with joy. So I wish you Chodesh Tov and a Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Rabbi Cleo, and to you and to your family as well. Continue with Baruch Hu. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai, Hamivorach, Baruch Adonai, Hamivorach, Hamivorach leolam vayed, Hamivorach, Hamivorach leolam vayed. Every service we have has a prayer of God's love of the people of Israel. Avat Olam, here's an alternative English reading. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You mean Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. And together let us say, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. We'll do an English version of the Vahavta. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Talk about them at work. Teach them to your children, whether you're tied or whether you're arrested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Anibal?
Thank you, Rabbi. Hold on a minute. I have way too many windows here. In peace, O God, lay us in bed, wake us to life, O Sovereign. Your peaceful shelter over us spread. Guide us with good counseling. Save us for your reputation. Shield us for your own salvation. Spare us these miseries, the foe, pestilence, sword, famine, and woe. Keep slanderers from our front and rear. Hide us in shadow of your wing. O God, our guard and rescuer, gracious and kind, our sovereign. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. ירושלים ועל ירושלים ועל ירושלים Amen.
Amen. Indeed, we'll turn over the service to Rabbi Kliel for a shorter version of the Amidah.
Well, thanks, Rabbi Allen. And actually, we have the wonderful treat of having Cantor Tracy Kasner join us. So I'm gonna do a little switcheroo and ask her to sing this part. So if somebody could just allow Tracy to come on. She's part of the kahal here. Do you see her, Rabbi Anibal?
Not yet. I have to. Maybe if she can, if she start talking, it will be bumped up to the front.
A, B, C, D,
There.
E, F, G,
You see, that's how it works.
H, I, J, K. Okay. Okay, everybody. We don't normally daven the Amidah aloud together on Kabbalat Shabbat, but I'll sing the melody that we would normally do for Shabbat morning and hope that you can all come on this vocal journey with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Eloi Abraham Eloi Yitzchak v'Eloi Yaakov Eloi Sarah Eloi Rivka Eloi Rachav Eloi Leah Hayela HaGadol HaGibor v'Nora v'Elyon Go melech chasadim tovim v'koneh hakol v'zocher Aseh avot ve'imahot, umevi goel livnei v'neihem leman shemo be'ahava. I don't think Zochreinu applies, but I'll go to the next part. Amelech chozer ufoker u'Mashiach u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Azrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai mechayim eitim, Atah rav le'hoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid Hagashem. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yalu chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, HaMelech HaKadosh.
Thank you, Pastor Tracy.
Amen.
Khalil,
Amen.
continue.
Yashar kochech. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen.
Rabbi Khalil, the next is yours as well.
God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulchana'el lehodot.
Amen.
The Amida always ends with two special prayers. One is a prayer for thanks, which Rabbi Khalil just did, and of course a prayer for peace. And in these days, there's probably nothing more important in our minds as our hearts look out, reach, and bleed for what's going on in Ukraine and in the world around us. Rabbi Yonibal.
Ose shalom bimromav, O yase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Yase shalom, Yase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yase shalom, Yase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yase shalom, Yase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yase shalom, Yase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yase shalom, Yase shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'yimeruhu, amen.
Rabbi Yonibal, the prayer of healing.
Next, we are going to continue now with the Misheverach for healing. This is a very special moment. As we mentioned before, we pray for peace, but I think we need to pray for peace because the world needs healing first. So when we are praying for healing, we are praying not just for individuals, but also for the world that I believe is in a state that it needs lots of healing. But if you know anybody who is in need of healing, any individual, I will have an open invitation to all of you to type that name into the chat box. Type that name, make that name visible to you, to the others, so you can have the kavanah to pray for that person that you feel is in need of healing. That way, at the end, when we say amen, at the end of the prayer, we know that they are all together praying for the healing of those individuals, and also we are praying for the healing of the whole world. So please join me. Beidach Avoteinu Mekor Abraha Leimoteinu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. Let us say Amen. Mishebeidach Imoteinu Mekor Abraha Lavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say Amen. Amen.
Amen. And we move from healing to those who've passed away. And of course, in the context we're talking about, we're thinking not only of those in our own families, in our own communities, but those around the world. The Ukrainian soldiers, the civilians who've had their lives taken completely beyond their control in their own imaginings. The Russian soldiers who've been cast into a battle that they haven't chosen. To the Shia Muslim population in Pakistan who were themselves victimized by a terrible terrorist attack, again, completely not of their choice and planning. This is what we do the Mourners Kaddish for not only for ourselves, but the Jews before us, the generations before us whose families no longer have anybody to mourn for them. I encourage you, at least it's our custom, to do this together as a community. And again, as Rabbi Nibal said, I encourage you again to put any names into the chat box so that their names are enlivened and brought to life, their memories truly being for a blessing. And together, let's read the Mourners Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalmad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechan u'v'yamechan u'v'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agalah u'bizman kariv v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudashah b'richu.
Rihu.
Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'miram be'alma v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shlam Rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Otzeh shalom b'imramav v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Zichronam livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing. And we go from darkness to light as we again come back to the idea of bringing Shabbat into our homes and literally lighting the Shabbat candles. Symbolically, we're doing it a bit before we might normally do it, but this is a community event and we're going to do it in this time and space to celebrate the impending arrival of Shabbat. And for that, we're delighted to go to the home of Florencia Katz. Florencia has been very special to all of us over the last few years as she's been the representative of the Jewish Federation of Winnipeg to support all of our joint initiatives along the way. Has become a true friend to all of us. And we were very delighted to ask her to take on the commitment to welcome Shabbat with the lighting of the candles, and through her to also thank the Jewish Federation of Winnipeg for its absolutely ongoing loving support of these new wonderful collaborations that are happening on the spiritual side of the community as well. So over to Florencia.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you for the invitation and for the honor. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר של Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Again, I want to thank you all for joining us this evening for Shabbat across Winnipeg. And we all, of course, wish you just that really Shabbat be everything that it is meant to be for all of us. A time of place, relaxation, a chance to reset, to be with our families, those closest of us, and to find peace in our lives and to energize ourselves for the West Week. This is a time to find the very best of who we can be. And we asked Anibal, Rabbi Anibal, to sing us out. We've asked him to do the Adon Olam. We've thrown out 3 or 4 different ideas, and he says he has his own. So engage us, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, everyone, again, for tuning in today. It's great to see so many faces connected. Make me believe in the Jewish community, that we can get together to celebrate Shabbat, and so we can uplift each other. I have this beautiful melody of the Adon Olam. As I mentioned before, I always try to spotlight melodies composed in South America, usually from Argentina, but so you won't say that I'm biased to Argentina. I brought this Adon Olam that is from Brazil. Okay, so it's from South America, but not from Argentina, and I hope you enjoy it. It's so I'm pretty sure you will learn to sing it right away. So as soon as you feel ready, join me for the chorus. It goes like this. Adon Olam asher malach beterem kol yetzir nivra le'et nasa vehefzo kol azai melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kiknot הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה ותפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא וחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא והוא אחד ואין שני לעם שלו להכבידה ולי ראשית ואי תכלית ולא העוז והמשרה. Ready to join? אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא עת נשא וחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא והוא אלי וחי גואלי וצור חבלי וצרה והוא ניסי ומענוס לי מנת כוסי ויום אקרא אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, ועת נשא וחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא. בידו הפקיד רוחי, ועת אישם ויעירה, ואם רוחי גביעתי, אדוני לי ולא ידע. All together. אדון עולם אשר מלך, בטרם כל יציר נברא, ועת נשא וחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא.
Yasher Koach, Rabbi Anibal.
Shabbat
Listen,
shalom, everyone.
When we arrived here, I said Bruchim Abayim, a blessing on your arrival. I'll also say right now, Bruchim B'Tzeitchem. As you step out into the world, away from this beautiful community, may the spirit, the ruach, the tam of this service enliven you and engaging you as you engage your own Shabbat experience as well. From all of us here, into our homes, your homes into ours, and ours to you, we wish you all truly a Shabbat Shalom, a Shabbat of peace.